Welcome to this video presentation called Flipped Gaming, testing of 3 simulation games. My name is Vold, and I would very much wish I could have been there with you. Unfortunately, I haven't had lectures, but I hope to join you next year. So me and most of my colleagues that are co-authors to this paper come from the Inland Norway University of Applied Sciences. We have 6 educational centers, and we belong to Rena, which is a business school, and it's approximately 2 hours north of Oslo. So about a month ago it looked like this on the picture on the left, and today it looked like the picture on the right. So most of the snow is gone, or at least this picture shows no snow. There is still some around, but we are hopeful that it will be summer this year as well. So I hope you enjoy the nice weather of Portugal. So my co-authors are Hanne, Jørgen, Ranglund, Geir Venemyr, Bjørn, Tallak, Bakken, and Kiønig from the business school, and we are so fortunate to have also Professor Braun from the University of Technology with us on board. So why use simulation in games? Well, first and foremost, because it's fun and engaging, and it's really not something new. It's because it's been used for centuries. One of the first recorded games is the landlord's game, better known as Monopoly today. So you see a picture of it there. It's a modified version we use today. And just a little fun fact, this is a cite dice found in Bakken only 5 or 6 weeks ago, and it's from medieval times, and if you look closely on the picture you will see 2 sides having 5 circles on them, so they cheated back in those days as well. So the theory that we have drawn upon is about how visualization and augmented reality can actually do that. It can augment the reality, and it can give you a visualization or a representation of virtual reality. So you can train in on quite severe themes, but in a safe environment. And also it's possible to collaborate using these tools. So of course we rely on the social learning theories, learning together with peers and from training staff. It's possible to reach the zone of proximal development as described by Lev Vygotsky. So learning from others and learning with others, we think is important for enhancing the learning outcome. Also, these students are skilled practitioners, so to utilize their own backgrounds. Some of them come from police, call-out services, other organizations working on crisis management, so why not utilize their background into their to the education. We also rely on the experiential learning theory, and we look at Kolb's experiential learning cycle, which also implies reflection, and Donald Schoen has been writing a lot about reflection in his books on the reflective practitioner. So he's talking about reflection in an action, reflection on an action, and reflection in action on action, so different levels of reflection. John Cowan has written about reflection before our action, which is very interesting because this could actually help start the learning process earlier. So it might actually start a learning process prior to the action. The actual project that we use these 3 simulation tools is in a bachelor program in crisis management and communication at our business school. So we use the games-based platform Virtual Battlespace 3 from Bohemia Interactive. The different other tools we used was HoloLens from Microsoft, and Raven, which is a web-based tool for incident management. So students make their own scenarios. They try to, this is how we try to introduce the reflection before action, as we believe this will support the learning outcome. Also then utilizing the different reflection opportunities will secure the students with a better learning outcome. So the student group is very diverse. The age group is approximately from 20-21 to 60 plus. They have a very different skill level, both with regards to gaming and with regards to technical issues regarding the curriculum and so on. However, most of them are there because there are regulations from the Norwegian Directorate for Civil Protection saying that all organizations, staff in municipalities and counties, not only governmental offices and military, are required to plan for and train for crisis, different types of crisis management, and they have to report on their training, they have to report on how they're planning and so on. So this is something that they need to learn because they need to practice it back at their work. So we start out with the scenario building. So the students are, the first part of the assignment is about students being put to work to develop scenarios. For these scenarios, they are going to play, or they are going to be game staff for or facilitators for their own scenarios. The other groups will then, or one other group will play their scenario as call-out services. For instance, firefighters, police, ambulance, Red Cross, whatever. And then they swap. The advising sessions prior to the gaming is about getting the scenario playable and to secure that the scenario actually deals with the learning aims of the course. So then they have to choose a platform for the gaming, and they can choose one of the 3, the computer-based game, the Virtual Battlespace 3 platform, the communication tool called Raven, and the VR tool called HoloLens. Then it's also a last seminar, and this is relying on utilizing also time combined with reflection. So we have just called it reflection longer after action. So this is a reflection on action, but reflecting also over time. It's interesting to see how the reflection changes over time when you allow time to come into consideration when looking back at an incident. They also have to do a presentation of the learning outcome and present an evaluation of the tools they have used. So the figure below just shows the delineation of the assignment. So Lyngvik is the city that is built on the Virtual Battlespace 3 platform, and really all bad things happen in Lyngvik. It's a fake city, but they all really ugly things like landslides, fires, and so on happens in Lyngvik. It's about moving avatars, it's about moving vehicles, but in order to make the things happen, you need a game master, a game programmer that can actually go in and program the different things happening. What we train is teamwork, collaboration skills, also communication skills, and the ability to plan a rescue operation. It could be to handle press, and etc. The HoloLens, we had a premiere for using it in crisis management education. It was the first time worldwide that it was actually used for those types of educational purposes. So this was a premiere. It's a mixed reality tool, and we have included the link so you can actually see the or look it up and see what opportunities it has. For us, it has been a playground for experiments and a safe environment to test out different scenarios. You need to use a communication tool in addition to the HoloLens, and for this particular assignment we use the hunting radio bandwidth, so you can imagine the surprise with the different hunters that were in the middle of the forest on top of a mountain, hearing that there was a huge tank ship crashing into not far away from them. So that was quite fun. The last tool is a Raven, and it's a communication tool. It's an incident management software, and I'm sorry that the picture is in Norwegian, but you'll find on top of the description of the assignment. The timeline for the assignment will also be present. The content of the or the logging of the communication is where the arrow from the content is, and it's also interesting to see who logged the different communications. So this can be a tool for both teachers and staff. It could be for different types of incidents. It's possible to customize it somewhat for one's own use. This is text-based, and you can use a communication or an oral communication tool like you do with the HoloLens, but the important thing is to actually log everything that's happening and what is being said. So the verbalization and the communication skills and the team learning you get from this is quite valuable. So how did we go about investigating how this works? Well, we mainly used a qualitative method or qualitative methods. We use observations. We were observing the students when they were playing the different simulation tools. We have interviews with the students, both singular interviews and group interviews, and we have field notes from our observations, and also field notes from the different incidents. Also, we have the reports from the students, the final seminar where they did the presentations and their evaluations of the different communication tools. So results. Some of the elder students had little or no prior gaming skills, meaning that they didn't know how to use the arrows on the keyboard and the different commands on the keyboard, which slowed down the process somewhat. So it's important to focus on training the different commands in beforehand before simulating. What they do tell us is that they really need this. This was so needed to complete their education. And they also say this shouldn't come in the last semester. It should be from the very first semester. They can't stress the importance of communication during crisis, and they say even if it's an artificial setting, it's still a vast learning outcome from the simulation and gaming. Excuse me. So to conclude, we need the students to train earlier. We need them to have more practical gaming earlier in their bachelor's degree. Maybe we should introduce it already from the first semester. And we can conclude that the learning outcome is enhanced both from our own observations and from what the students report. In the assignment, 75% of the seminars tied to the course was mandatory presence. And they weren't happy about that when this was introduced to them. These are people that come from all over Norway, and it's travel expenses and the expenses of being away from work and everything. And having gone through the assignment, they can't stress they are eager to stress the fact that the 70% mandatory presence is absolutely needed. So they haven't only learned about planning a rescue operation and handling a crisis, but it's also about the importance of making a playable script and scenario. What they don't say too much about is the reflection processes. So that's something we probably need to investigate a little bit more. So that, in addition to introducing the simulation and gaming in the first semester, will be a part of what we're going to investigate further. So to follow the students in a more longitudinal study would be very interesting to see if there is it's possible to trace and how to trace the enhanced learning outcome. So that was about it, and I've used my 20 minutes, so thank you very much for your attention. I hope you've enjoyed the conference so far, and I hope you enjoy the rest of it. and I'm looking very much forward to see you wherever it is next year for the ITHET. So thank you very much, and please do contact me if you have any questions regarding this or regarding the paper, or if you just want to hear more about the project. So thank you very much. Bye.